Hello, hello. Welcome to this month's Hypno Geeks, the podcast for hypnotherapists of all shapes and sizes and varieties, and anyone who's in the therapy world that is looking to go to excel in their techniques and to really get their hypnotherapy practice on track and supersonic and helping lots and serving lots of people who need help right now in these challenging times. But as well as being amazing therapists, we have to do lots of other things too. And I describe this process as we need to wear very many hats. We need to take on lots of different roles. And at the Northern College of Clinical Hypnotherapy, as part of our training, we do offer tried and tested business and marketing education to all of our students, because you can be the best therapist in the world, but if nobody knows who you are or where you are or what you do, you're not going to have a very successful practice. So in each of the training sessions and throughout the supervision that we offer throughout the training, we offer very good basic business planning, and we encourage you to set simple objectives and also provide lots of general information on how to use social media and Google and all of those many platforms that we can use to share the magic that we do with the general public, with our potential clients, and promote who you are and promote your therapeutic practice. However, this is a huge area of challenge for a lot of us. I know that many of my students struggle to get their heads around all the apps and applications that you can just have on a mobile phone. Using Facebook can feel like really overwhelming, and is it even worth it? Is there any point to it? LinkedIn, Twitter, there's all sorts of challenges. And if you haven't got a mindset, the right mindset, if you're lacking a little bit of self-belief, if you're not really clear on the message of your business, or if you're not really clear on your objectives, things can become even trickier. And of course, even if we've got the best strategy and we've got the most amazing plan in the world and we know which hats we're wearing on what day, you know, we've all got things going on in our lives. There's the dentist and the doctor and the school and the kids and the stuff that goes on and the shopping and the housework and planning holidays and all of the things that go on in life. And I've probably not mentioned any of them really there, but lots of things that happen in life that can distract us away from doing the things that are going to really help us to get our therapeutic practice on the map, get us really out there and help us to be of maximum service to the people in our communities. So I'm so excited because we have a new member of the Northern College of Clinical Hypnotherapy team. We've got Clement Fabian, and Clem, as she's lovingly known as, is a coach. I'm going to get her to introduce herself in more detail shortly. But what Clem does is she offers within the college for our students, for our graduates, and we're quite happy to open that to anyone who needs a little bit of help in this way as well. She offers coaching. Now, I personally worked with 2 or 3 different coaches when I was creating my business. And what helped me was what I called the compassionate kick in the pants, which was like, come on, Amanda, this is what your objectives were for this month. Have you achieved them? And that accountability was really helpful for me. But I did find that I was procrastinating. I did find that, the washing up all of a sudden seems very important when I've got emails to send. I did find that I was putting things off that were a bit tricky and a bit challenging because I didn't have the right mindset. And I wasn't 100% sure of which direction I wanted to go in initially either. So having some coaching really helped me to choose which hat I'm going to wear each day. And I'm really excited to say that Clem is now supporting our students for a very low cost. Really no cost at all. You can actually jump on a monthly session with Clem, and you can get those goals in place. But let me stop talking and just introduce you. Clem, welcome to the Hypno Geeks podcast. And I'm so excited to have you on board as one of our team members at the Northern College of Clinical Hypnotherapy.
Yay! I'm so happy. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a thrill to be here. As you were saying, Amanda, my goal is to help and to serve, as everyone else listening to the podcast, I'm sure. We're here to have this impact on the world. We're here for others to find solutions to improve their lives, aren't we? And I love the fact that I'm helping therapists and other wellness entrepreneurs to do that with their clients, so that multiplies really the impact that they have. And what I love about being a member of the college and offering those group sessions is that we are making that accessible, because as people are aware, that can be very costly, right, to access coaching. Although a lot of people may realize, oh yeah, that would be something amazing that I would really benefit from, but I'm starting my practice, or I've just finished my studies, or maybe I'm still paying for so and so. And financially speaking, maybe the moment you need it the most, it might not be the moment it's easiest to finance. So for an accessible cost, you can really access those group monthly sessions to really help you with the accountability side of things, as you were really well describing, as well as getting the knowledge, the clarity, the push, the motivation, uplifting each other, really holding each other accountable, but also, celebrating and being each other's cheerleader. That's very important, because we can feel very lonely, can't we, when we're starting, and
absolutely,
it's new and it's the unknown, and I'm not sure.
I think with a therapeutic practice of this nature, friends and family can often think you're a bit bonkers.
Yeah.
If you've had a really good mainstream job, and we've had students come through the college who've been teachers or who've worked for big companies, and they've had quite good job security, and all of a sudden they're giving up, they're stepping away from that job security into the unknown, and it can feel really scary and really daunting. But if it's your passion, if it's what your heart is calling you to do, we do feel driven to do it. But there are still going to be those days where we think, what have I done, because some of the hats that I feel that I need to wear are things like the digital guru hat. We need to do presenting in lots of different formats and media. We need to do a lot of storytelling as well, so we're educating people about who we are, what we do.
Yes.
And how we can serve people, what solutions we're providing for people. And we need to maybe know about how to use video and infographics, maybe even animation and audio too. So these can be kind of, I think the majority of things are learnable or teachable, and there's courses you can join, and there's the University of YouTube that I certainly dip in and out of quite a lot to learn, how do I do this, let's watch a video. But if I haven't got the right mindset, that digital guru hat can feel like it's sitting on the shelf, and I'm not putting it on my head today because it's too scary.
Absolutely. Yes, it's very, very common. I found that the prospect of making yourself visible, because social media or being online, the online presence, it's very exposing. You can feel very exposed.
Vulnerability.
And, the vulnerability here is triggered really, really highly. And as well, it's something new. So as you said, new skills. So maybe I'm not going to be level 7 straight away with Instagram or things like that. It's going to be a work in process. And that's quite difficult, isn't it, to realize that I'm going to be starting something and probably not get it as well as I would do in a year. So accepting that I'm going to start at the beginner's level, and this is the only way to start. You can't start at level 7. That does not exist.
I know. And I'm self-taught in all of the sort of tools and techniques that I've learned. But I remember kind of thinking, oh, I really need to learn how to use this platform, and then thinking I'm going to do that this month, and then a week would go by. I'm going to do that this month, and 2 weeks would go by. I really need to learn how to do this technique, and then 3 weeks, and before I know it, the whole month has gone by, and I've not learned it, and I've not got any further forward, and then I'd feel really frustrated and annoyed with myself for not getting on with it, and I'd be like, oh, procrastination, what's going on? But there was some kind of resistance there. I think when we start anything new, they can feel like, it's all births, isn't it? Births can be beautiful and amazing and magical, but there's usually a bit of discomfort with a birth. Anything new that we're bringing into our lives, particularly a new skill, can feel really daunting.
Yes, that's very, very common. And there are, for a lot of people, for example, there can be like a sort of a syndrome that happens, that they need more training before they start. Or I need to keep on training, and I'm not trained enough, or I need more pro bono experience before I can charge. All sorts of things around that people wait and wait and wait before they start, while it's actually a trick of the mind, isn't it, with this imposter syndrome, like, I will never be good enough, or can I possibly right now start doing something on social media? Yes you can, and really my advice is really to go back to baby steps. What can I do next week? I do not need to be a master and to be an expert, and there's always more to learn. Even the best marketers and social media they're still learning things. They could still improve. There's this illusion sometimes in our mind when it comes to business that I should get it perfectly straight away, right? I raise my expectations up to here, today, now, otherwise I'm terrible. And I sort of judge myself and evaluate myself in regards to that, and that really puts me down. While if I just be like, okay, what can I do now? And the setting into actions, as you've probably realized, motivates you actually to do more. To be, okay, I've done this little bit there. Maybe I can learn a little bit about Canva for this post, and I improve this. Okay, that's been 10 minutes. So it chunks it down to smaller bits that are more achievable, rather than thinking, I need to become a master in social media and become the expert in a month. Ooh, that's a bit cake. Ooh.
Yeah. Take a small slice of the cake, and I think that's where the mindset and the accountability come in. And we do also need to have a bit of an ideas hat as well. We need to be a bit of an ideas machine. We need to be creating ways of how do we communicate our message? How do we share with people the solutions that we provide? How can we do that in an inspirational way that's actually going to attract clients to us? And then I think also we have to wear a networking hat as well, because it's a really good idea to know lots of other therapists, not just other hypnotherapists, but coaches and other wellbeing practitioners, and people who can provide massage or physio or osteopathy or chiropractic or nutrition, and working with getting yourself, I loved what you said about cheerleaders, because that's what it is. I think if you can get yourself a little team of cheerleaders, but you're also cheering everyone along in that group, I do think, those relationships that you form with other professionals means that you've got a lovely referral network as well, and that really helps. But again, that takes time, and it takes your energy, and it takes a commitment. And I think, you need to have very clear objectives about what you want to gain from those friendships and collaborations and relationships.
100%. They're so important. And as you said, there's so many hats. I could be spending my time maybe doing so much of networking and so much of research and so much of learning, while my time is limited. Like you said, we're all humans. We all have families and lives, and there's only this much time that we have. So it's important to be realistic and to be consistent, which means doing a little bit very regularly. So is it weekly? Is it daily? That really depends on your style. And with the networking, what I found is amazing, is to be, as you said, super clear first on your message. And I love how those two hats are very connected for me, because the more you're aware of how unique you are, there are many hypnotherapists out there in the world. None of them is like you.
That's right.
You have this unique flavor. You bring something to this world and to your service, to your therapy, that no one else can bring. And this is what you need to communicate, not only to your audience, to your social media platform, but also to your network. They need to know who you are so that they can talk to others. And when they're going to meet someone, they're going to think of you because, like, oh, that really resonates with this person. That reminds me of so and so. Because the more authentic you become, the more, the clearer you are with this uniqueness of you. Because as small business owners and therapists, the brand is us. We are the brand.
That's right.
That's going to resonate with some people and not with others. That's absolutely fine. But just own that, and having this leader, this cheerleaders around you to support you, to really hold you into this unique flavor of yours, is really encouraging.
Yeah, and the unique flavor that we're offering and stepping into that authenticity can also feel really challenging, because it means getting vulnerable. It could mean sharing your story. It could mean sharing your healing journey. It could mean, highlighting an issue about mental health or mental well-being that's really kind of close to your heart, and you can feel quite exposed. Having the support of a group, and seeing that there is strength in your vulnerability is hugely powerful. One area where I always kind of like feel that I'm a bit wibbly wobbly is with my business hat. The paperwork and the tax returns don't get me started. I've got a meeting with the tax man on Friday, my accountant, because I need to get stuff done quickly. And it for me, it's the area of my business that I don't feel like I'm very competent with. It's an area of my business I feel like I don't really understand very well. It's an area of my business that I will put off because I love the learning area. I love the communication area. I love the network area. For me, that's just joyful and fantastic. So getting a change in mindset for me about money management, I'm using this new strategy at the moment where I'm thinking of money as a woman. She's a feminine. I need to take her on a date night. I need to look after her. I need to make sure that I checked in with her every day. She's my best friend, and I need to learn, and I'm looking after her. But just having a different change in mindset can really help us, because we are always going to be learning. We are always going to be wearing a learning hat, and perhaps learning how to do some business skills is also important, in addition to all of the exciting neurophysiology and neuroscience stuff that's coming out, that that we're all going to love as well. So again, it's that accountability and the mindset stuff that you get from working with a coach that really helps you to break the back of these limiting beliefs, break the back of these kind of unhealthy behaviors that could really damage your business.
And working on procrastination, I think, is very common in these areas, like you were talking about, accounting, bookkeeping, or things like that. It's really easy to have no time for that, or not to set time for doing that, or sit down regularly to have those cleared. And again, it depends. Some people love that. So you might not resonate with this, which is absolutely fine. But for a lot of people, it's something that's easy to procrastinate. And what happens, I think it's fascinating to understand what's happening in the mind when that happens, is that, okay, I'm postponing and I'm procrastinating on something because of the idea that it's going to be uncomfortable. I'm not going to enjoy it. It's not going to be nurturing. I'd rather do something else that's going to be nurturing, uplifting, and motivating. And what happens then is that it becomes a lot worse than what it was actually going to be. So if I had sat down and did my accounts for like 1 hour, I would have saved a lot of the feeling guilty, a lot of, again, this comes back on my to-do list. I haven't done it. So you blame yourself, and then the anticipation is even worse. Like, this is going to be horrible, awful. And there's all this story that builds up in your mind about how terrible doing this hour of accounting is going to be. And when you actually sit down, I don't know if that resonates with you listening to this podcast today, when you actually sit down, do this hour, it's not that terrible. It's done quite quickly. And you're like, oh, that's, all right, yeah.
And it's a lot better to spend an hour doing it than get that £100 fine for not getting it in on time. I was talking with some of my students. It was a couple of weekends ago now, and one of the students was saying that they'd just got £100 fine because they hadn't got it in on time. And I was like, oh, we've all been there, haven't we? We've all kind of been on the edge of it, or we've all got one at some point because we haven't been on it in terms of, so another reason why working with a coach is brilliant.
Yes.
And when we start anything new, or if we've had a go at it, we don't feel it's been as successful as we'd have liked, it can knock our confidence. It can create more limiting beliefs. It can really damage the belief in what we're doing, particularly if we've sacrificed a lot of time and energy and finance to educate ourselves and to create a business. That self-belief and self-confidence hats that we need to wear as an entrepreneur, having self-belief and self-confidence, the benefits of that go far beyond just feeling good about yourself. I mean, one of my students is about to graduate, and her business is going to be called Confidence is Key, because she's seen through her own life experience, and she's seen the benefit of having confidence. I mean, it helps you to make good decisions. It allows you to trust your instincts and not live in a space of self-doubt or self-fear. And it's why we actually give all of our students a self-confidence building audio in the first module of the training course, because it's huge. But also, sometimes we're going to have clients that come to us and they're not the right clients for us. We're not the right therapist for them. We need to have the confidence to be able to say, I'm going to refer you on. I'm not going to work with you. You're not right for me, and I'm not right for you. And sometimes I think, confidence is so much more than just self-belief and self-confidence.
Yes, that really resonates with me, and that's also very connected to all the work that I do with my clients on the mindset side of things, which I think, like you say, is a very, very important foundation to everything that we do. For a lot of people initially, there can be a little bit of a confusion of sort of approvals. If I'm successful in my business, if I make enough money, then that validates my value as a person. No. Who you are, your value as a person, has nothing to do with your results, with the service that you provide. That's nothing can touch that. Nobody and nothing can touch that, and that's very, very important. And again, going back to your unique person, your unique personality, your unique flavor. What you do then in your business, what you set in place, is going to be a learning curve, trial and error, and that's absolutely fine, and that's absolutely beautiful. And you can then, if you have a little bit of a detachment with, like, that's not touching on my value, that's not sort of coming in and telling me I'm not worth anything, then it's much easier to look at it and say, okay, all right, what could be improved, and what was great? What did I do that I can celebrate? That was absolutely amazing. And when can I keep on improving? Because there are so many factors as well that we cannot control. That's life in the end of the day. Even business is life. We do our best. And what I love is the notion of having the obligation of doing our best. We do not have an obligation of results. That's, even in the therapy work that we do with people, some clients are going to do amazing. Some clients are going to take more time, less time. That's out of our control. It depends on the person's environment. It depends on so many other things in their lives. Sometimes they are going to have bigger challenge while you're treating them, etc. So the only thing that you can do is show up, do your best, keep on being very consistent, taking care of yourself, really having the self-care aspect. And for your business, it's absolutely the same. It's when you look at business success as well out there, that people that had the best idea, And despite the amazing work that they had, the best idea in the world, it didn't work. It's not their fault. It's the market. Did they just, went down and just give up on everything? No, they kept going. And the most successful people in the world, you can really see that in the life story. It's so inspiring, I found.
Yeah. I always think fail means first attempt in learning.
Yes.
And they are our best teachers, aren't they? What went wrong? Why didn't it work?
Yeah.
What can I learn from that? Painful lessons quite often.
Yeah.
But if you're in that kind of supportive group, if you've got your cheerleaders in place, if you've got your idea about who you want to serve and what your solutions are, there's really no stopping you, is there? And I think one of the areas I've really benefited from by working with a coach is in having an abundance mindset. So what I mean by that is when I did my business training courses and when I was on all of these like how to market your business courses and all that sort of stuff, they kept talking about competition all the time. Your competitors, know what your competition do, know what about your competitors, find out about your competitors and do something better than what they're doing. And I just thought this feels a bit like a game of musical chairs. I don't know if you've ever played musical chairs, but it's a traditional party game where you put, 10 chairs out and you play the music, everyone's dancing around, and then when the music stops you sit on a chair, and if there's always more people than there are chairs, and if you haven't got a chair you're out, and then as the game goes on chairs are removed and more people are out. And I felt, God, it feels a little bit like if I'm not in there fast, there's going to be a chair whipped away and I'm going to be out. Or there's like only a small percentage of people who are going to be my customers. So I need to be in competition, almost fighting with the people. And working with a coach really helped me to realize that that's an absolute load of rubbish.
I agree.
Absolute load of rubbish. There's no such thing as competition, really. And we are in a state where we've got 230,000 new cases of post-traumatic stress disorder, a condition that hypnotherapy has got, evidence-based solutions for. We've got people who are struggling just to live their normal everyday life because of the effect of the past couple of years and the situations that we're in now, the economic situations, and there's a war going on as well, which is also having a huge impact on people, and living in that constant state of fear is not good. So there is an abundance of need out there, which is sad, but the reality of the situation. But I think that a mindset, getting away from that idea that I need to be better than everyone else and just really stepping into the fullness of who you are. And having a real belief that and a knowledge that there is enough people to go around, and there's a very good friend of mine used to say, there's plenty of air. It's everywhere. And I love that expression, there's plenty of air, because with coaching, I found that I've been able to move forward in my life. I've been able to have more of a sense of fulfillment and confidence in who I am, in my own capability. And I've also been able to tap into the belief that I have the power to create a business that I want, that is going to serve an abundance of people who are in need. And that's really been where working with a coach has really helped me to create that really beautiful, helpful, abundant mindset.
Absolutely. I think it's very crucial, and it really shapes then your perspective, your vision of the world. And I love what you described. It completely resonates with me. What I would add on as well is, like, when you have a vision as well of an abundant mindset, then naturally, as it includes that the market has got enough space for everyone.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And really, really agree as well what you were saying. I am not in favor of a violent or competitive approach, because we were just talking about networking. Those very people that can support you and be your cheerleaders, don't see them as an enemy. I wouldn't go with this vision, because then then it's not compatible actually with the abundance mindset. The abundance mindset is there's enough space for everyone. You know, I believe that the universe is generous, and the universe is making a space and opportunities for everyone, and each individual can be attracted to different flavors, and that's why we're together, and that's why we're sharing. And it's actually, we achieve more when we get together rather than being against each other.
Absolutely. Community, collaboration, raising each other up, having our own unique flavor, getting vulnerable, but, you know, really being present. Is there something going on in the background there? Sorry about that. Really being present, and stepping into that lovely flow. And it is a flow once you get out of that competition. And it's quite a fearful state to be in. When you get into the joy of doing what you're doing, there really is an abundance, and it does just flow to you. And everything that I could have ever wanted in my life has arrived because of this work that I'm doing, and has all been really scaffolded and nurtured and supported by working with a coach. So I'm so excited that you are providing our students and graduates and therapists in our communities this amazing program. So your program works in 3 main areas, which really covers everything that we've been talking about. There's the mindset area, the clarity area, and the strategy area. Tell me a little bit more about your program and what you're offering the students and graduates.
Absolutely. So the idea is, like with every monthly session, we're going to cover, and those things are really weaved together, but the really important aspects of coaching and of your success. We need to support you in your business, and as you know, to become the best therapist as well. It's really about, you know, this service for others as well, as we were saying. So we want you to be able to provide this service, and for that you need also to receive that value back. So there's this foundation of the mindset, of really this vision, this positivity, really knocking out your limiting beliefs, and maybe those internal obstacles that can be happening. We described a few. Sometimes it's a block, sometimes it's procrastination, sometimes it's being a bit too restless and a bit too dispersed and doing a bit here and there, but at the end of the day not having really sort of organized and structured things. So that's really, really important, and that really supports the clarity aspect. So the clarity aspect is about defining your objectives, being super clear, being quite realistic as well with the time that's available for you. And what that does, it helps you to really prioritize. Yes, I would like to be able to do all of that all together right away. All right,
just need a magic wand.
I have this time available. All right, because I need self-care, I need to take care of my family, I need to sleep at night. Okay.
Absolutely.
What do I need to be, you know, what do I need to be focusing on? What's the organization that works for me? And I always go back to that. How do you work better? You know, are you like a morning person? Do you like to work in like sort of longer terms? Do you have to sit down for like an hour altogether, or would you rather do 20 minutes of this, 20 minutes of that? That's really you. You don't need to change yourself. Just build on your strengths and build on what works for you. That's super, super important. And that's why as well, I don't believe like in a magic pill or magic solution that's available to you in 10 steps to achieve. Well, we're all different, we're all unique.
Absolutely.
You're going to find your way. That's important. That's what's going to work. So that's the clarity aspect, defining your goals, having the clarity on what you're offering as well, as we said.
Yeah.
How you're unique, what's different to the other hypnotherapist sitting next to you. Really owning that, really being.
And I think just being able to discuss that and say it out loud to other people, you know, professional like yourself, but other people within the group as well. Does that sound good?
Exactly.
You know, when you get that feedback and someone goes, "Oh, that sounds amazing," you go, "Okay." It really helps to seal it in sometimes, just to hear yourself say it, and also get that feedback from someone who knows the industry as well. It's really helpful.
Absolutely. And that can evolve, and that will evolve naturally as well. That's also something we're thinking, I gotta get it right straight away. Like my website, it's got to be perfect and good. That's going to evolve all the time. It's never over. The work in progress is always there. So, but the feedback is so helpful, absolutely. And and I'll talk about strategy actually, as you've seen, last, because I think a lot of people sort of rush to the how. Okay, let's do a social media post. Okay, but why? Why are you doing it? Are you in the right mindset? Are you clear about what you're doing there? What's your objective? What are you trying to get there? Are you trying to get visibility? Are you trying to get clients? Is it promotional? Is it engagement that you're after? Amazing to do things, but the strategy needs to be serving the clarity of the objectives and really with this foundation of the mindset. So the how-to is really, I think, needs to be really supported by those strong two first aspects. But they all weave together. But once you get clear, I think, as well, having the awareness of what's underneath and what as well might be not quite working well at this stage. Maybe, I don't know, you were talking about your business hat. Oh, I'm really struggling with my business hat. Okay, what's happening there? Is it the clarity? Is it the strategy? Is it the mindset? What do I need to work on actually to move forward? And the meeting regularly, of course, the monthly meetings are going to be amazing with the accountability, setting up clear objectives, being in touch with others, maybe from the group, between the sessions, being in touch with me as well, and just really sort of building this regularity, this consistency. It's a long-term game. You said that several times already in the podcast today. It is a long-term game. And that's why as well, a lot of people, I think, sort of quit after 2 years because they've done it as a marathon.
They're burnt out.
As a sprint, sorry. Yeah. Well, it's a marathon. Yeah. They've burned out, absolutely. So breaking it down and really having the daily and weekly approach and monthly approach, it's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, and sometimes less with the right strategy is so much more. You don't need to be doing everything every day all the time, do you? It's like having the right words, having real clarity, having the right mindset, having the right strategy, and just doing something once a week is going to work so much more than, you know, every day and a mixed message, and not really, you know, people need to kind of really get a sense of who you are and what you do and what your message is. And when you have that clarity, it helps you to be able to do all your marketing. It helps you to do all of your logos and your website, and all of that just falls into place when you've got that really clear strategy in place and the right mindset and clarity on it all. So I love that your program is. And how much is it to join, and when is it on?
So the next session is going to be on Monday, the 27th. The session will start at 7, so it will be from 7 to 8, and the fee is only £19 to join. You don't have to come at every session if you have stuff on and you can't join for one session. Of course, the regularity will bring you a lot more, but we're aware as well that you might have other commitments,
clients. You might be busy working. But yeah, Monday the 27th at 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock on Zoom. Join from anywhere. Anyone who's a student or a graduate at the Northern College of Clinical Hypnotherapy, this is for you, and it's just £19. It's going to really help to get your mindset right, get your clarity on what your business is going to look like, be like, feel like, and it's going to help you put some amazing strategies in place. Come along, it's not even 20 quid. It's such a brilliant offer. Thank you so much, Clem, for providing this for our students and graduates, and also anyone else who wants to join is very welcome. Anyone who's watching or listening is very welcome to join. If you are a therapist and you want some help with your business and you want that coaching without the massive price tag that it does usually come with. I mean, I've spent hundreds of pounds on coaching, so I really can't believe that this is such an amazing price. So brilliant. Thanks everyone for listening, and thank you, Clem. I'm so excited you're on board, and I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna be joining that session on Monday the 27th. I'm gonna book on today right now, because I can see just from our conversation things that I can really benefit from within what we're doing within the school as well. So I'm going to be there.
Exciting. I can't wait. Thank you so much.
If you want to be there, jump on the 27th. The link to sign up will be along with this video, and you'll also see it on all of our social media mediums and platforms, and it's also on our website, www.thenortherncollegeofclinicalhypnotherapy.com. You can find Clem and read about Clem and find out all about her, and you can also book to work with her one-to-one. Say you've got something that you really feel you need some additional support on, if you want to work with her one-to-one, you can do that too, because she's amazing. Anyway, wherever you're listening from, it's been awesome to have you here. Thanks for tuning in to Hypno Geeks this month. Take care, lots of love.